trap still. We need to, and this is a tool we can use to get out. Right. So it's protecting me from that pain of still being broken until such time as I had a way to fix it and had a way out of the trap. Right.
Is
And all that is, that all comes down to is protecting me from pain. But the way the pain was manifesting, the way that threat was created was like, okay, this is complicated. So we got to come up with a complicated solution. So we're going to do this crazy thing until we can find a way out. But it just comes down to I am protecting you from emotional pain. So you don't want to leave this world.
how was the pain manifesting itself? How did you knew
Um,
that there was something like but in the conscious of the like in the subconscious of the mind that needed to be dealt with?
Very simple. The way you know you are trapped, the way that you know that there's a problem that needs to be fixed is that there's a gap between where you are and where you should be,
Oh.
right? If I'm going through the world and everything's good and everything's working the way it should, everything's fine. You ain't got any problems you really need to deal with down there. Okay. If you're going through the world and you're like, man, why do I not have a better job? Man, why am I in all these toxic relationships? Man, it's like I should be much more successful than I am given what I know. It's like, why is my business not working the way it is? Like, why am I never able to lose weight? Like, why can't I stop smoking? Like, I know how to do it. I know what to do. This shouldn't be working this way. Therefore, the problem isn't what you know. Problem is a forced perspective. This is messed up,
Hmm.
right? Something does not work the way you think it does. There's something you know or understand about yourself or the world that is not true in some way, shape, or form. And there's no way for you to really know what it is, right? All you know is this doesn't work. And that's okay because that's all you have to know. Because as soon as you say this doesn't work, oh, there's something my mind is doing to protect me in the short term that is screwing up the long term. I
Mm.
don't know what it is, but now I know there's a problem. So now I can start looking, right?
Wow.
It's hard to figure out what the problem is, but once you know what the problem is, it's easy to fix. And when you've got that kind of thing, it's not a knowledge problem. It is a force level problem. It's an emotional mind problem. It's a meaning problem. It's a subconscious mind problem because that part of you is protecting you from something, some kind of pain, based on how it understands who you are, and you don't know what that is, but that's okay because now you know where to look and you know the kinds of questions to ask.
Is that all considered shadow work? Doing the shadow work?
Yeah, yeah, fundamentally, yes. Because the shadow is like your blind spots, the things you can't see, the place you can't see, right? Fair enough. The stuff you see should be working a certain way. Therefore, the problem isn't in what you can see, it's in what you can't see,
Okay.
right? Now, shadow work is fundamentally a conscious process to kind of play with the unconscious mind, right? And it works to some degree, right? But again, you're looking at individual problems. You're not necessarily looking at the forest level perspective, right? Because we say, okay, why am I not good enough? Why do I feel I'm not good enough? Here's a list of reasons. Not why do I feel like I'm not good enough? Well, when you're four, you didn't have any ability to do anything to change your environment, so you're powerless and weak. Oh, fix that. Fix that you were powerless and weak when you're four. Go for it. Right? How you're supposed to fix that with shadow work? Like it just simply doesn't work that way. Like some tools you just can't get there with. But shadow work is a beautiful step to get you started moving in the right direction. Right? Everything helps. Every bit of work moves the ball forward. And it may need to be that you need to do some shadow work to get yourself to a place where you could do this deeper work. All parts of the process. Right? So whatever tool you have that makes the most sense is going to move the ball forward the most. Use that. And pretty soon, you're going to hit this point where you're kind of like spinning your wheels. You're going to hit this point of diminishing returns. Great. You have fixed everything you can with that tool. Time for the next. Right. That's what tech therapy kind of gets you trapped in, though. It's like, I've only got talk therapy. That's the only thing that works. So I'm just going to keep going, even though it stopped working a long time ago.
Yeah.
Once you
Uh,
hit that point of diminishing returns, the problem's not there anymore. Do something else.
so would you suggest for someone who's in this position to completely stop talk therapy and move on to the next? Uh,
Well, not necessarily. If you're still getting benefits from talk therapy, keep going. If it's kind of hit the wall, it's like, okay, time to do the next thing.
okay.
Right. And that's the sort of thing where you start asking questions like, okay, what might be next? Maybe you've been doing traditional talk therapy and you need to do like internal family systems, right? Which is a different kind of talk therapy, talking about parts and stuff like that. Well, that's much more subconscious mind language stuff. You're getting much closer, right? Maybe you need to do psychedelic assisted therapy. That stuff is really powerful and works really well. But again, you're going to hit a wall. Maybe you need to do some hypnosis. Maybe you need to go learn something else. Like maybe it's faith, maybe it's religion you need.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the missing piece. Who knows, right? And so what I would say is just like start messing around on Twitter, YouTube. And I'm serious about that because right, you don't really know what you need. You don't really know what the question is. So you just like start scrolling around until something catches your attention. Oh, I'm curious about this. Great, go down that rabbit hole. Your mind is saying what I need is here somewhere. It's down this road. So go there. And as soon as something catches your attention, oh, this sounds it. Do that.
I know
Let's
that's
see if it's wrong.
yoga and tai chi for some people.
Mm. Yeah, it could be
Yeah, yeah.
yoga, it could be tai chi, it could be meditation, could be acupuncture, could be Ayurvedic medicine or Chinese herbal medicine, or like who knows, right? Because maybe it's not even a mental problem, maybe it's a physical problem, right? Like I have bipolar disorder, didn't know that. I have ADHD, didn't know that. Those are things I need medication for. That's not meaning, that's not understanding. No, my brain is wired different and it needs a certain kind of support. Didn't know that. Got it now. Awesome. Things are better. Solves a whole bunch of problems. But sometimes the problem keeps on showing up even though you've done all that stuff. Well, in that case, that's not the problem. It's something deeper, right? So solve the problem you can see as best you can until that stops working. And then you find the next thing. And all you have to do is keep looking around and following your curiosity. As soon as something says, this is it, grab that, keep going. Your mind is always looking, trying to help you, right? Even trying to protect you from pain is just trying to help you as best you can, right? So say, oh, down there, go down that way. That thing, give me some of that.
Whatever helps.
Whatever helps.
I know.
Solve the biggest problem you can right now. Keep on solving them until you're there. That's all you got to do. Getting anything you want in life is just solving a series of problems, fundamentally, right?
Mm,
So, great. What's my biggest problem? Let me solve that.
I know from personal experience that sometimes, even though you brought something to light, right? You did this
Mm-hmm.
shadow work in one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a huge, at least for me, that's my experience. There's a
Mm-hmm.
huge emotional delay. It seems like the brain, the conscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
completely understood and
Yes.
conceptualized the